Before you go, before we start, the audience have voted, thanks to Universal and Secret Life of Pets 2. You'll be now wearing this lovely, if you would, cat headband.
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you.
They're trying to get me to be subbed. The audience would like you to wear that during your presentation, if possible. I love this guy, he's so good. Give out an applause. Yeah, he's now going to be wearing a magical kitty headband during that next presentation. He doesn't have to wear it for all of it, does he? No. Yeah. Oh yeah, I was going to give it a no. Is it going to fit him? He said. Oh, I'm loving it, sir. It really does suit you. Please give a massive warm round of applause to two very talented young men who are responsible for giving you some great anime and bringing you some great anime and working really hard to make sure you know exactly what's coming and kept in the loop. Give it up to the brilliant Jeremy Graves and Anthony Hanley!
Hello and Mia. I'm not gonna lie, I feel weird right now.
You rocked that, sir, you really do.
Thank you very much. I just took the photo with flash photography, thank you, I feel far too special. Welcome to the All the Anime panel. Are you having a good time so far? Yeah! Good, good, good. We are here to talk about a lot of things to do with anime. As you heard, I am Jeremy Graves. If you are not familiar with Anime Limited, my official title is Marketing Executive, but given how I look, you could put that into question right now. And next to me is what I would best describe as my superior in the company. It is Mr. Andy Hanley.
Hello everybody. Although I feel like I feel left out, like I have nothing on my head.
I mean, I'm sure if we ask if we ask really nicely, we could probably get another pair.
We live in hope.
Anyway, what are we doing?
Well, I guess we should start because this is everybody's favourite part of our panels. Is we need to talk about who we are.
So just with a show of hands, because this may determine how long we go on for this bit for, how many people don't know who we are? We shall go on as intended. So, we are Anime Limited. We are one of the companies in the UK that bring Japanese anime to Blu-ray and DVD, but it's not the only thing we do either, as we delve into the world of cinema and other places as well. When it comes to the kind of releases that we do, we have standard DVD, standard Blu-ray, we've got you covered. We then have our collector's edition releases, which vary to varying degrees, but something a little bit extra that we're always super proud of. Then we have our ultimate edition releases, which, given the kind of scale that we have gone to in the past, can be pretty blooming mental at times, to say the least. Especially if you want an 8-kilogram resin replica of a gate from the end of Full Metal Alchemist. That was fun shipping that to everywhere in the UK, believe me. So Andy, what else should we highlight in this regard? Anything personally you want to add to this?
No, I mean, we've been doing some really cool stuff with Ultimate Editions recently. I mean, if you swing by our stand in the South Hall, you'll see our Cowboy Bebop Ultimate Edition, which is gorgeous. You know, I mean, it's Cowboy Bebop, so it kind of goes without saying, but we put it all in an awesome flight case, and it's got an amazing art book. We've also got our Perfect Blue Ultimate Edition, which is all of the storyboards for Satoshi Kon's Perfect Blue, all in a huge, great big book with a remastered version of the video. So, like, those are both projects I've been really excited about, and it's been cool to see those come to fruition over the last few months.
Indeed, and there are more Ultimate Editions on the way, folks, so probably stay tuned for news on that during the year, because there's a lot of things being done behind the scenes, and we're not quite ready just yet to reveal that stuff, but it's going to be worth it, trust me. What's next on the docket, good sir?
So we should probably talk about some of the stuff that we have on sale at our stand, because we had a lot of products come in very much at the last minute, which made us happy, to be quite frank.
Made us happy and also gave us a very stressful start to the morning as well, because we didn't expect that to happen. So when it comes to what we have that's new, how many ReZero fans in the house? We have finally got Part 2 available here today. It is also available generally across the UK. We have got the collector's edition Blu-ray version, but we've also got what is literally now the out-of-print version that comes with a box to store Parts 1 and 2. It was a release that was exclusive to our All the Anime online store and Zavvi. This is literally like the last of it. So if you want it, head on over to our booth after the panel, or now if you really want to run out and get it, I won't hold it against you. And we may still have some left. We do still have some left, don't we?
Yes, I believe they've not gone just yet, but...
Oh, we've still got some left. And we're wagering our bets that chances are there's going to be a lot of ReZero fans here this weekend. So if you're a fan and you're holding out, maybe not hold out until tomorrow, is what we would suggest. We also have the Season 1 Collector's Edition set of Castlevania. Not anime, per se, but it is something really, really cool and something we are delighted that we can actually bring to home video. Any Castlevania fans in the house from the Netflix series? There you go. We've got Season 1, which is 4 episodes. Probably, when you combine all of them together, the length of a movie is how we like to describe it. And might as well just say this now, when it comes to Season 2, folks, we want to do it, no idea at this stage if we can. But we really, really hope we can at some point in time. Also on the docket ahead of its release, Silver Spoon, Season 1. How many people are familiar with Silver Spoon?
Excellent.
For those of you that aren't, it's the best farming anime you will see. That may not sound like much of a sales pitch, but trust me, it is. If you ever wonder what it would be like if a guy who just lives in like a big city, like London for example, were to suddenly go to a high school that's all about agriculture and farming, you can probably imagine what would happen when he discovers where eggs comes from. That's all I will say about that for now.
Well, we should also say, imagine if the author of Full Metal Alchemist made an anime about farming.
That's a fairly good sales point as well, actually. Yeah. So if you like Full Metal Alchemist, chances are you might like this farming anime. That's not a line I thought I'd ever say in public, but there you go. And also, as it is the first time we've been to London since this was released as well, the collection in the bottom corner you can see there called Pigtails and Other Short Stories from Production IG. This, as the name implies, is a collection of short stories or short films that the world-famous Production IG, the studio that brought you Ghost in the Shell, to name one of the titles, have created. Most of the time, lots of these little projects never see the light of day outside of Japan. They may get the odd theatrical screening here or there, but this is a really unique collection of short films that chances are you may never normally get to see. And the version that we've got at our booth is an all the anime online store exclusive version that comes with 2 big books inside. One of them being a storyboard book for the entire short of Pigtails, and the other one is just packed full of info about all the shorts collectively. It's a great package, and it's something I personally am really proud to be involved with because I love these kind of short stories and random unique projects. Especially when there's one called Little Spider Girl, which features a really cute girl who turns out to be a spider, and it causes all sorts of hilarities and wackiness. It's good fun.
Indeed, and that's not all we have either, because we have even more new
There's more.
There's more.
I'll take another deep breath then. So, despite the fact that a couple of weeks ago we actually had to shift the date back again, so sorry, for Macquia, our production house have been working ridiculously around the clock this week and have managed to actually get some more titles available here this weekend. And we only found out we were going to have them here this weekend when we all arrived at our booth before the doors opened this morning. So we've got literally very, very limited amounts of them. And it's the first of the actual production line, if you will, of the products that have been made. So we've got some copies of Macquia, When the Promised Flower Blooms. We've also got the series Kokoku, Moment by Moment. We've got the first part of Sword Art Online Alternative, Gun Gale Online Part 1. Because that's not a long title at all, is it? Which, if you really want it, we've also got the version that comes with the storage box to hold Part 1 and 2 for when Part 2 is available later this year. And finally, if you want a bit of shonen action in your life, Part 2 of Twin Star Exorcist is also available this weekend ahead of its release next week. And if you buy the Blu-ray version, it comes with an exclusive book of art as well.
Indeed, and so just another couple.
Oh, there's more, for crying out loud.
Yeah, I mean, these are just a couple of standard editions that we wanted to highlight. First of all, you can now buy all of Martian Success in Nadesco on Blu-ray, because that man is right, you should all own Martian Success in Nadesco on Blu-ray. And we also have the English language version of Lupin III Part 4. As some of you may know, some of you may not, the production of that series was a bit weird because they made an Italian version of the series that was kind of different in terms of some of its animation, its opening credits, etc., to the Japanese version, which meant we couldn't do our normal release of a single version that had the English and the Japanese on it. So we released the show subtitle only last year, and very good it is too. You should check out our collector's edition of that. But for people who wanted the English language version, we've now also released it as a standard edition Blu-ray.
Yes.
Good.
There's nothing else to add to that, really, is there?
No. But talking of anime that you might want to own, we do have a very special bargain ongoing at our Comic Con store today.
Look at that cute little fox. look at it, and I say fox because that's what most people call it. It's actually meant to be a red panda. It's our official mascot, not called Pandrew. I say not because someone in the company doesn't like it being called that. Some of you may be able to figure out who.
Can't imagine why. But yeah, so this is our anime mystery bag that we are selling at MCM Comic Con this weekend. It is limited in stock, but it is 9 anime Blu-rays of various stripes, all in one bag. So 300 quid worth of content for £40. Who can say no to that?
I don't know who can say no to that. I don't know why I went really melodramatic, but you know.
I think everybody here is just committed to buying one by not putting their hands up. So we've done a good job.
I'm sure they're all delighted you've just told them they've got to buy this.
That's what we're here for, we're marketing. So let's talk about our guest of honour, I guess, for this Comic Con.
Indeed, at MCM London we love to bring over someone from Japan to be the anime guest of honour, and this time is no different, as we have got the director of the series, which you may have already seen on Netflix, of Kakegurui. It is a mental gambling anime. I've only actually personally watched it recently, and I'm flabbergasted and really annoyed I hadn't watched it earlier. So if you're someone that loves some ridiculous gambling in anime, this show, this man is fantastic. I can't wait to meet him personally as well. He will also be here tomorrow doing the anime guest of honor panel, the traditional Saturday tradition. Too many traditions in that, but you get what I mean. And he's got some cool things that he wants to show you and talk about, so come along and hang out with the director of Kakegurui. And then of course we've got 2 signing sessions, 3 signing sessions I should add, with the man himself across the weekend.
Indeed. Now Jeremy, if you were to meet somebody like Mr. Hayashi, and maybe you're at a signing session and you wanted something to be signed, what kind of cool thing would you want him to sign?
If there's like a really cool print or something, or like a poster type thing, that'd be cool.
What if it was framed?
Ooh.
What if it's like one of these, say, for example?
Yeah, they would do. We've got all 3 of these framed prints available to purchase at our All the Anime dot table, i.e. our booth in the, what hall are we in, the North Hall? The South Hall, that's where I was thinking of. I know, I can't really get North and South confused that easily, but when you're a giant and you're wearing cat ears, it happens. So yeah, we've got these 3 framed prints available to buy right now, haven't we?
Yes, indeed. These are all available for £15, so a bargain. And yeah, as mentioned, if you want to get them signed by the director, then you can bring them along to the signing session, and we can accommodate that for you.
Yeah, it's something that we noticed when Shoji Gato, who is the creator of Full Metal Panic, came over, is that a lot of people bought a framed print that we had available at our store, took it apart, took the print out of it, and actually got him to sign that. And it's perhaps stupidly something we never thought that maybe something that people want to do. So we thought, you know what, it's been really popular, let's make sure we can accommodate that for people. So this is the opportunity for you guys to get a really cool different print signed, should you want to buy it, and then take it apart yourself and then present it to him to be signed.
Indeed, and of course that is everything that we're doing at Comic Con, but we're not alone here. We are here with our friends from Crunchyroll.
I thought you were going to say all of our friends in the audience, but you know.
Well, I mean, them too. They're our best friends. We don't tell Crunchyroll that. So yeah, we're doing a bunch of stuff with Crunchyroll. Again, you can find us in the South Stand at stand S600. If you're a premium Crunchyroll member, as a show of hands, who is a premium Crunchyroll subscriber already? Cool. Well, you can. Thank you, Jeremy. Thank you. You can all get cool stuff. You can get some free swag from us. You can come along, spin the wheel of fortune, and get some prizes. So you just have to head on by, prove that you're a premium member, show them the app, and we'll let you have a spin of the wheel. And you can also pose for a photo with Rimuru, the star of Reincarnated as a Slime, via our awesome plushie that everybody wants to take home with them, but nobody can.
Yeah, if you're a fan of the show, we've got this awesome plushie of Rimuru, which, as someone described to me earlier, this is too good to be this soft. I don't know what that means. I will let everyone judge for themselves, but yeah, if you're a fan of the show and you may have already watched it on Crunchyroll, we've got a cool little photo up there, got a few standees as well, so why not come along, take a photo, it is absolutely free.
Indeed, and we talked about those Kakegurui frame prints. We also have a whole bunch of Crunchyroll merchandise, including some prints, but we've got a whole bunch of other cool merchandise focusing around Hime, Crunchyroll's rather cute and adorable mascot character.
Indeed, it's also worth noting that this merchandise has not been available anywhere else in the world before. So if you want to get some stuff which is kind of exclusive to here, and maybe get a one-up on people across the pond, perhaps, who can't get hold of this so easily, you got a chance. But I didn't tell you that.
Indeed, and also if you have an Instagram account, you'll find a few Hime standees dotted around our stall and kind of the region around it. If you go take a selfie with Hime, tag it in with Crunchyroll MCM, you will be entered into a prize draw. So you know, feel free to do that and have a bit of fun in the process, and who knows, maybe you'll be a winner.
Indeed.
So our final kind of Crunchyroll themed thing here is, are there any fans of Saga of Tanya the Evil in the house? Okay, good for you. You may want to come on by on Sunday because we have the UK premiere of Saga of Tanya the Evil, the movie. This is a recap film, it's an all-new Tanya the Evil film. I've kind of used my industry contacts. I've seen it already. It's really good. You should check it out. And you can catch it at the cinema truck here in the North Hall at 1 PM on Sunday. So if you fancy it, it is first come, first serve. So make sure you're there nice and early at the cinema truck so that you get yourself a decent seat and go see a real good anime movie on a Sunday. What more would you want to do on a Sunday?
I don't know, but I think the other thing to note as well is that this only got screened in America for the first time last week. So it's pretty cool the turnaround time for that. And it's, admittedly, we know we've heard from some people online that they wished, it could have been confirmed earlier. Sometimes, guys, the stars just can't align like that. But the fact this is happening at all, I think is fantastic. And who knows, it could lead to something else really cool in the future as well.
Yes, indeed. So yeah, some really cool stuff from Crunchyroll this Comic Con, which I guess brings us on to probably the reason why most of you are here, I suspect.
We've paid the bills, now we've got to pay our future bills.
Yeah, it's announcement time. Now, there's probably one franchise that we get asked about more than pretty much anything else.
You're narrowing this down quite a bit, Andy. We get asked about a lot.
Yeah, so we keep getting asked about it, so we need to do something about that. Let's talk about Gundam.
Let's. And the reaction in there made it seem palpable with excitement in this room.
Yes.
And the news of Gundam.
Indeed. So our starting point for this is actually something we announced last Comic Con, but we want to fill in some of the gaps and talk a little bit more about our plans, and that is Mobile Suit Gundam 00. So we can confirm that is coming to Blu-ray this year. We don't have an exact date locked down for it yet. We're still kind of, things are still in motion with that, but we're confident that Q3, Q4 this year, we will be bringing Gundam 00 to the UK on Blu-ray. And basically our plans for it are as follows. We will be releasing kind of a standard collector's edition as you've seen from kind of previous Gundam titles. So that'll be split into two half-season sets, so part 1 and part 2. But we know this is a big Gundam series, and so we also kind of want to do something a bit cooler, a bit more impressive with it. And so we are also working on a deluxe edition Blu-ray release that will contain the entire TV series, but also the movie and the OVAs, and also, we hope, a harking great art book of some description. So this is still kind of very much in progress. We're seeing what we can get hold of in terms of materials, what we can put together. So things like the price point are very provisional at this point in time until we can see exactly what we can do and what the cost will be. But we're confident it will be a really, really cool edition of a really, really cool Gundam series.
Indeed, and yeah, if you were here at this exact same panel this time last year, you may think you're having deja vu at this point, but trust me, we're a lot farther along now. A lot of things have been sort of cleared up, ironed out, and this is why we can bring you some more concrete detail than we could last time. So, last I was told, definitely on the cards for later this year. It doesn't feel like deja vu at all when I say that.
Indeed. So yes, that's Gundam 00, and now I guess onto something that we haven't actually talked about in any official capacity before. So let's start with the trailer to tease it a little.
It really does feel like deja vu, because I'm pretty sure this happened last time.
Yes, it did. You see, I was actually tempted to change my backdrop just knowing that this might happen, but I thought, you know what, I'm just going to lean into it. I'm just going to let it happen. I
don't know why I'm standing in the middle of the stage. It's not like I can hide this image behind me. And of course, with the cat ears as well, I'm just adding to it.
No, I've just tried changing that, so that's the
So this is what happens, folks, when you try your best to plan out something, and it just doesn't work. But this is why, I say that.
Let's see how this goes.
So yes, folks, Char's Counterattack. The final part of the sort of original story of Gundam, if you will, following on from Double Zeta. It is finally going to be coming to Blu-ray. Thank God for that. We've been waiting to be able to do this for a long time, and we've now finally got the clearance to be able to do this. So we are delighted to say it is going to be coming to Blu-ray, and I'm super excited about this, because personally, I've not actually seen it myself. I've seen a lot of Gundam stuff, but for some reason, I haven't seen this.
Yeah, I mean, I'm in the same boat, so I kind of, you know, I need to finish the saga, as the trailer says. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to checking it out as well, and, yeah, hopefully we can give it a nice collector's edition treatment, as is our Gundam desires.
Indeed, so if you have already checked out the original Gundam series, then the next part, which was Zeta, followed by Double Zeta, this is the next part of that story, and in many ways a concluding part in the eyes of many.
Indeed. So let's move on to another Gundam title while we're on this train. So let's run another trailer, hopefully with sound this time. So there you go, more Mobile Suit Gundam Thunderbolt on Blu-ray.
Indeed. Now, I'm going to address probably an obvious question from that trailer. Why were there Japanese subtitles at the bottom when it was an English trailer? Simply put, that's the trailer we were supplied. That's the only answer I've got for you. It is, I will say, it is weird watching an English dub anime video with Japanese subtitles. It feels like the reverse of what I do in normal life. But hey-ho. But yes, Gundam Thunderbolt Bandit Flower, another unique name for the world of anime. It is coming to Blu-ray. It'll be in a collector's edition set, just like the first Gundam Thunderbolt, December Sky, that's the name of it did. And we're looking forward to releasing that as well, and will be another part of your Gundam collection to add to your collection.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of Gundam Thunderbolt. Like, anybody who knows me will have heard me wax lyrical about it. It's also a really good gateway Gundam series. Like, you don't really need to know about the broader franchise to enjoy the Thunderbolt films. So yeah, I'm really happy that we get to bring the second movie to the UK. And if you haven't watched December Sky yet, go check it out. On which note, we should probably say, I know some of our Gundam titles are kind of out of print in their collector's edition form. One of the other things we are still kind of doing in the background is working on putting out standard editions of those where they've gone out of print. Because, I mean, December Skies in particular sold like hotcakes, went out of print really quickly. So we will be looking to put out standard editions of those titles as and when we can. So, is that enough Gundam, or should we do one more?
Would anyone like another Gundam announcement? We don't have to.
Yeah, we could just skip it.
But, you know, given the enthusiasm, I think we should. So, I'm going to cut to the chase. I'm really excited about this announcement. I'm really excited. Freaking Gundam Wing on Blu-ray! Now, the reason I'm this excited, story time with Jeremy. Andy, take a break. So, back when this show first aired in probably, what was it, 99, 2000 on Cartoon Network, young Jeremy, who would get home from school and watch Dragon Ball Z, Tenchi Muyo, and Gundam Wing as part of that ridiculously good Toonami block after school, Gundam Wing, man, changed me. It was an experience I never thought I would experience watching TV in general. Also, that classic opening theme, which I blooming well hope is going to be on our release, but I don't know if it will be due to rights issues, that also made me a huge heavy metal fan. You might say Gundam changed my life a bit. It did. And Gundam Wing is great, and I cannot wait for us to be able to release this on Blu-ray.
Yes, indeed. And much like Gundam 00, we kind of have a very similar release strategy. We will be releasing the TV series as a couple of collector's edition sets, so split into 2 half-season sets, effectively. But we will also be doing a deluxe edition Blu-ray release for this as well, which will contain the entire series, plus the Endless Waltz movie. Again, in a collector's art box, we want to do a big art book for it. Again, as per Gundam 00, we're kind of currently sifting through the materials we've got, seeing what we can do with it before we can confirm our precise plans. But look forward to a suitably kick-ass Gundam Wing release, I think it's fair to say.
Indeed. Regarding Endless Waltz, in case people want me to wax lyrical more about Gundam Wing, in terms of whether it will be both the movie version and the 3-part OVA version, waiting for confirmation on that, because there are technically 2 different forms of it, though they are the same thing. Random note, I'm done, continue.
See, this is why we have you on these things, to spout your Gundam Wing knowledge, because I wasn't aware of that, so...
There you go.
So,
I've earned my paycheck for the weekend, there you go.
Yeah, there we go. So you mentioned just now that you're a big fan of music, so should we talk about some music?
Yeah, sure, why not?
We talked about our vinyl plans that we announced ages ago and then kind of went really quiet on because, as it turns out, putting out vinyl records is hard.
So this is quite amusing. This is probably where I should have really looked at what we were going to be announcing today and actually talked to Andy because I didn't know we were talking about this. So let's see what we're going to announce. I'm curious.
Yeah, so I mean, to start out with, as mentioned, like we announced this quite a while ago now that we were planning a range of vinyl albums of anime soundtracks. And the reason it's taken so long is that both ourselves and all of our Japanese partners that we're working with on titles are all really, really passionate about making these vinyl releases as absolutely as good as they can be. Like, it would be really easy just to kind of throw out vinyl records just kind of as a gimmick when the actual, you know, audio quality is not great, etc., etc. But everybody involved in this process has been very dead set on making these records actually sound good and not just be a thing you can just go off on a shelf and say, well, look, I've got some vinyl. So that's kind of been the part that's been really time consuming, is, you know, getting the right materials, you know, getting the actual authoring of the vinyl records absolutely right. And thankfully we're finally at the point with a couple of titles now where we can start talking about them and they're actually going to go into production pretty soon. So first up is actually one of the titles that we kind of used to launch our vinyl line to people, and that's A Silent Voice. Who here has seen A Silent Voice before? A lot of you. It's a fantastic film, has a really great affecting soundtrack, a perfect candidate for a vinyl release, I think you'd agree.
This is really cool. I'm genuinely super happy. Now, just to kind of add to what Andy was saying about the length of time it's been since we announced this stuff, to add a bit more context, usually when it comes to, say, an anime Blu-ray release, it's a fairly hands-on process. There's a lot of back and forth, designing and stuff. But with this, it's been a far more hands-on process than we could have imagined when we first announced it. In terms of, like Andy said, the audio quality and such, and actually producing vinyl, it's been a bit of a learning curve, while at the same time a fascinating experience, and that's why it has taken so long to get to this point of us actually finally being able to announce what our first vinyl release will be, and coming in November. But there's an interesting footnote I think we need to address, Andy, on this.
Yeah, absolutely. So obviously we're a UK company. When we pick up a series, everybody normally assumes quite rightly that we're picking it up for the UK. Things are a little bit different with our music range, and what we're trying to do, wherever possible, is we're trying to pick up rights for all English-speaking territories. So, you know, the US, North America, Australia, etc., etc., and also for Europe. So not only will you be able to pre-order this at alltheanime.com, at our own online store, which is kind of the more relevant one for probably most of you in this room as UK fans, we are also in discussions with North American distributors to make sure that it's available in online retail in the US and Canada as well, because we know that's a big market. Obviously, we've got the rights for it. We want to make sure we can get these awesome vinyl into people's hands. So yeah, like a bit of a difference from the norm, because it's not just purely a UK release.
And chances are as well, a lot of you guys in this room probably got friends in North America and such, or in Europe, who might be interested in this. So that is something that has been factored into all of this thinking as well.
Yes, yeah, indeed. So feel free to put the word out, and yeah, if you know people who might be interested, who live in North America or Australia or elsewhere in Europe, then, you know, let them know there's some cool stuff in the pipeline.
Out of interest, just quick sorry, Andy, to cut you off, but with a quick show of hands, how many people tend to buy records like vinyl and whatnot? Okay, cool. And how many people who perhaps don't do that are kind of actually interested in this, and it might get them into this field? Awesome, sweet.
Mission accomplished. But yeah, so you know, this is you are the first people to see this pack shot. This is a first reveal of what our Silent Voice vinyl will look like. I mean, that film has some gorgeous artwork, and as you can see, we've made as much use of it as possible for the gatefold. It's got a big 14-page booklet with a bunch of information in it, and of course the 2 vinyl records themselves. So yeah, come November, you will be able to own a Silent Voice on vinyl, and I'm excited to get my hands on the finished product myself, to be quite frank.
It's been a long time coming, but it's going to be worth it.
It will be indeed. But I know what some of you are probably thinking at this point in time. You're probably looking at that date and thinking, November, I don't want to wait until November to buy a record. Like, I want something sooner. I want something quicker. So, I don't know, how about we release Fully Cully on vinyl?
Right, all right.
Why don't we do that?
So, surprise! Literally, surprise! Yeah, how about that, folks? We're releasing the Fully Cully soundtrack How many of you have seen the show before? Awesome, and actually quick shout out as well to our friends at MCM Entertainment, because they are the ones that have released the series in the UK on Blu-ray and DVD. So, I actually haven't seen this design before, but don't mind me. You talk, Andy, I'm going to check this out, hang on.
Yeah, so yeah, this will actually be our first vinyl release. We haven't announced it previously, but we are releasing the official soundtrack for Fully Cully, which, to be quite frank, is one of the iconic anime soundtracks. Like, if you haven't heard it, you know, you will absolutely love it. It's kind of guaranteed. It's sort of Cowboy Bebop tier in terms of everybody loves this. It's just amazing. So yeah, we're really proud and really pleased that we're going to be able to release this soundtrack on vinyl. Again, you know, we've got a really nice art print that will be included in our set, a double-sided set of liner notes, and then of course the vinyl itself with this gorgeous-looking gatefold. So yeah, all of that with an SRP of $39.99, and again, that is an SRP, so it'll probably be a little cheaper come the time of its release on our own alltheanime.com store.
So there you go, folks. First vinyl coming out September, then November. We're finally getting the train rolling on this. Yeah, I'm blooming happy about that, to say the least. And yeah, we're going to have more info. I will also need more info because, again, been a bit blindsided. But there will be more info to follow in probably within the next week or two, once we've sort of recovered, for want of a better word, from Comic Con. We'll be able to probably elaborate a bit more, actually put this down more on the website and such, and then you'll be able to have more info regarding it too.
Yeah, indeed, and this is kind of setting the tone for what we want our kind of our music label to be. Obviously, you know, things shift and things are dependent on all sorts of moving parts in terms of, you know, contracts and actual production. But our ideal is that from that point forward, we would like to release a vinyl record every couple of months. So that's kind of what we're aiming for. You know, obviously it's a big goal, but you know, now we've got the pipeline down, hopefully we can start to get things moving and start to bring out these kind of releases a bit more regularly. So I know, like, hopefully people will be excited by these as we are.
One thing we probably should touch on, Andy, because I'm sure it's probably what some of you are wondering who are big fans of the franchise. It is this soundtrack specifically we have, correct?
That is correct, yes. It is just the official soundtrack to the original Fully Cully series. So yeah, it's the good stuff.
Indeed.
Yeah, so I think that is us done for this panel in terms of announcements. So that
I was going to say, we're done? What?
Yeah, I mean, we could just go, but I mean, everybody wants to see you in Caves for a little bit longer, so hopefully they'll have some questions to keep us on the stage for a while.
I legit forgot I was wearing it for a second, sorry.
I reminded you might have kept him on all day.